there's a Navac rep in town. He's the guy that's let me borrow their pumps before and all that kind of stuff. And he's always talking about like, man, you got to try, their 4-cylinder recovery machine and blah, blah. It's awesome. I'm like, well, yeah, anytime, dude.
Yeah,
and
just bring it on over, man. I'm cool with it. Yeah.
He finally got back that big white 12 CFM that we had borrowed for a couple months. He finally asked for that back.
So, oh, man. Do you think he just was never
Dustin
coming
was
back?
A little upset. And that's all right.
You thought you were going to keep it, didn't you?
Well, we were hoping we could show our boss, like, hey, this thing is awesome, like buy us one. And even with, the Primo discount, it was still like a $2,500 pump.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. And I don't really see the major, I guess, advantage besides that it holds so much oil. Like it's like 1.6 quarts of oil. So you can run it. Yeah, a ton of oil. You don't. The guy even told me. Remember, he's not technically savvy, this rep, but he's a sales guy, right? And he's like, you only have to change the oil like once a year. I was like, really?
Wait a second. No, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. I was like, I know it holds a lot, but that's not exactly how vacuum pump oil works, my dude.
Do you feel bad, like, if the rep comes in and says, like, there's been, like, a new invention out there that I did not realize that you don't have to change it once a year?
I talk so much crap to that guy. I talk so much crap to him. It's fun because he doesn't know what he's talking about. And he's trying to – so they'll go and do counter days, right? And instead of hiring somebody with any kind of technical knowledge or experience, he's just doing nothing but hiring sales guys. So they'll show up at these parts houses, and they set up a table and they spread out all the cool Navac stuff. And they try and set up a demo for like the battery powered vacuum pump or the Swager, stuff like that. And which Swager, I get it. That's easy enough to show anyone how to use. But trying to explain to this, poor young salesperson how to use a vacuum pump and set it up and what microns are and what they mean. And especially coming from him, I'm like, dude, just let me help you real quick, show you how this goes.
You know what you ought to do is take his job. They make a lot of money.
I don't want it, man.
Just call his boss, man. Just be like, hey, this guy said we only need to change oil once a year. Let me come work for you. I mean, this guy can get me coffee.
I don't think we ever changed it when we borrowed it. I mean, when we did several pull downs with it, I pulled down.
Change it at all,
dude. It looks good. It never got milky or like, look discolored, and we were still getting good pull downs. We were doing a blank off test, before we used it, but pulled down a city multi system with it, pulled down a smaller chiller, like a 75-ton chiller with it.
A little thing, yeah. A little baby
pulled
chiller.
Down the same York air-cooled chiller we were working on today. There's one right next to it. They serve the same building. And we just did both the electronic expansion valves on it a couple weeks ago, pulled that down with it. We never changed the oil.
Man.
It's because it holds so much. You got to consider how much oil like the Tez 8 holds. Those little bottles, they're like 8 ounces.
Tiny. Yeah.
It's itty bitty. So yeah, it takes nothing to get those dirty and lose the efficiency of your pull down. But
I'm gonna do an experiment on that. I think I already did an experiment on the little pump though, because it does wear out. If you leave the oil in it and you pull multiple vacuums, even if it looks good, like the ultimate vacuum I pulled the first time was like, I don't know, 25, 30 microns. And then it kept going up. It was like 53, 60. So eventually, you probably do a good job still, but that ultimate vacuum starts creeping up little by little until you just don't pull a good vacuum any longer. But I guess it takes that one a long time.
Yeah, it definitely can.
Which one was it? The 16 or the 24?
No, it was the 12, the one on the little dolly.
Oh, I got you.
In which, I used to have just the regular black and orange 12 CFM when I was at my last company. And I mean, that thing was great. And it held quite a bit of oil, not that much, but it did awesome. And I didn't have to change the oil in it all that much. I like to see how far I can push it.
Man, you were right, man. It says 1.6 quarts of oil.
Nailed it.
Man, you did nail it. All right, let's see how much the big boy holds. It's the NRD 16, but it's 12 CFM.
Yeah, that's so confusing.
That is
I don't
confusing.
know what the deal is with their model numbers.
I got to look up another one. Let's see how much the 24 and 30 hold. 1 million. No, it's 2.1 quarts. Ain't too far away from some vehicles.
Right. That's so you can leave it running for days on a big piece of equipment if you need to really clean it up if it's got a lot of moisture.
What kind of hoses do you have hooked to this thing? Because you got this thing that can suck the world inside out.
You know what kind of hoses I got.
Oh, you got the blue ones, don't you?
Sure do.
How many?
2.
So you got 2
but
blue
they're the
hoses.
shorties. I need to get the longer ones.
So the 3-foot things, how hard is that? Like, how are the connections like right at the base, like right next to each other?
On the white one?
No, unlike the under units that you're working on, are the connections like right next to each other?
No, they're usually pretty far apart. So depending on where you're hooking up to, I mean, so there's one on the liquid line before the expansion valve, and then there's one just after it. And so you're on the same side of the system there, but the suction's like 4 or 5 feet away.
Oh,
so
you're maxing them out.
Yeah, kind of got to put
the pump's like hanging in the air in between the 2 hoses.
Like I've done that. Absolutely have done that before. Strap it up inside the equipment. I've had to.
Yeah, that's
just to get everything to reach. And I don't have any of the 90-degree fittings either on this set yet.
Did you get to use it when it was cold?
I mean, yeah, I used it year round.
So what I'm asking is those hoses get pretty stiff. Then blue hoses get stiff in the winter.
It was cold outside, but I was using it in a mechanical room.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're always going to be inside working on those things.
No, I'm not.
Always. You never go outside, do you? No, you had a picture. The picture we just showed was you changing that condenser coil out. That big boy. I was outside.
Oh, right on.